Hello everybody, this is vinnieart and Mella. Today's another master class. So, my last one I covered how to draw hair. But I had a couple people asking me about actually drawing out the actual face. So I figure I'll do a kind of a quick one as well. Um, this is, I guess, a little bit of like the Loomis method. Basically, it's like a circle. Should probably lower the opacity on this. But anyway, so yeah, it's usually kind of like a circular shape. Okay, I'm going to try to do this quickly. I don't have the right setup to kind of do it traditionally, so I figure on the computer is the easiest and quickest way for me to kind of show this. Basically, so you start off with that circle, then you put another circle kind of to, like what we're talking about is like this kind of area in here. So it's like the side of the face. So we're chopping off like a piece of the circle. So let's use a perfect circle. We'll do like a top view. Like we're cutting off the sides a little bit, essentially. So this is a top view. Because our faces, we go a little narrow, so we're kind of playing with the planes of the face essentially. Well, this is how like the Loomis method kind of operates. So basically, like from there, like what we try to do is get like this line here would be like the brow line. And then we kind of extend the jaw from here. And like this space. So usually like that kind of bottom part of the circle, this extends to the nose. So let's say the nose is right about here. Again, this is just one of the methods of kind of how it works, how to do it. I like to kind of add a little bit more structure to it. Like I'll get like a bit of like the forehead kind of in there. But again, we're just kind of getting the shapes of it down. And then kind of like the cheekbones. And then coming further down. Now there's a few different ways of doing like where the chin is, because usually you'll break up like from the line that's like that equator part and like the bottom of the nose, and you kind of it's sort of like equal lengths. So from here to here to the bottom of the chin, they're all sort of like equaled out essentially. But again, a lot of people have different structured faces. So some people have longer chins, more narrow heads. You know, the jaw line's a little bit different. But typically, I would put like the mouth somewhere like the half the distance of that. So we're kind of splitting this one in half as well. It's normally how I do it. But again, we're just trying to get a little more technical with things. But once you start to practice more and you're messing around more with all of this, you understand it a little bit better. It's like you loosely get those ideas in your head of structure, right? So, and then like obviously we could erase the line a little bit so things are clearer. But usually that's kind of how it works. So I usually, well, the way that I do it, like I lift the brow a little bit and kind of lightly put in some eyebrows, and then like the structure of the eyes. Now with the eyes, it's usually they're kind of like Pac-Man type shapes, if that makes sense. So like if this is kind of like the eyeball, it is like these kind of like you're cutting out a section of like a circle, and then you kind of have to play with like the lip of the eye, and then we kind of build upon that. I mean, I could break it down a little bit better maybe during a live stream, which I'm going to be doing those. I think maybe once a week I'll do like a masterclass live stream, so I could really break stuff down a little bit better for you guys. But with these videos, I'm trying to keep it a little bit shorter, but kind of giving you guys just a little bit more of a starting off point. So, and a good trick to do is like, it's usually, if you want to get where the eyes are perfectly, you would do basically 3 ovals next to one another. And that's kind of a good way of not screwing up, I guess, how close the eyes are to one another. That's usually a pretty good method of doing that anyway. So again, it's kind of like just little tricks here and there. Because most of the time, like if you're studying a photograph, right now I'm just doing it off of imagination and memory of kind of like what a person will look like, right? So and again, it's okay. You could mess around, you could erase, play with stuff, but I would take a photo of either yourself or somebody else, an actor, whatever, someone in a magazine, and just kind of break down the facial structure and do like your measurements, kind of, because you want to make sure that you have like equal planes on the face, because the face is pretty much all made up of that. It's just different planes. So like the structure, so let's say like the forehead, then we know that like this area here kind of, it goes inward and then it comes out with the jaw. So like we're playing with, you know what, I should have maybe erased that. Hold on, because I'm kind of running out of room for where I did it. So like here's the forehead, here's that brow area, then it comes out to the cheek and goes down. So like I said, like this would be all darkened. Let's say light's hitting from the side, so like this area here would have light hitting it, and then it would kind of go darker in here. That's why usually you'll see people, they'll start doing like line work or to create shadows, because it is essentially what we're messing around with. Might as well just take the white and show you. So like here would be some light hitting it, and the other part would be dark, so over here would be more light. So like I hope that kind of makes sense what I'm talking about. That's what I mean by the planes of the face, the structure of you know. Again, if you study faces in photographs and lighting, if you have a realistic statue or a toy, play with like a flashlight over it to show how, you know, just to study how the light's going to interact with those kind of structures and features, you know, things of that nature. So once again, maybe I'll zoom up one more time in here since we are working on the head to make a little bit more sense out of this, and so I can see it better. So basically, like with the nose, like we're playing with, again, they're triangular kind of shapes, and we're thinking about like the nostrils. It's going to be a lot easier in pencil to do this, but again, I'm working with what I got here for now just to kind of show you guys quickly. So basically, like how the nose usually is, it is kind of like more triangular kind of shapes. So we're playing with this kind of shape. So like the nostrils in here or whatever. So this is like the under part of the nose. Let me erase this line up here. And then here's like that top part, top of the nostrils. So obviously we could, I could erase some of this in here. But again, just kind of showing some shapes and kind of how it works. But you know, it's kind of what we're doing in there, in this area here. Again, I'm doing this on Clip Studio, so usually the line works a little bit better on this. It's smoother, but I'm still, I should be messing around with the opacity on these kind of things, making sure I have this down a little bit better before I start recording these videos. But again, I kind of do like these one takes anyway, because for me, I think it's a little bit better and a little more natural. Because typically I will sketch very quickly, since I kind of know the basics of what I'm doing. And you get a much more natural kind of flow and line work and such. But, so let me come in here a little bit, show a little bit more like the bridge of the nose, how it comes down. Some of that. Okay, here. So the eyes are kind of, you know, like almond shaped, I guess. Would be the best way to describe it. You get the eyelids. But usually, like, see, these pen tools aren't working with me as well as I'd like them to. So let me try this again. Typically you have like this kind of meaty section of the brow, so the lid would be a little bit covered. Oops, hit the wrong button. Again, I am new to this program, but I'm trying. The lines are a little bit more forgiving than on Photoshop. We'll kind of play with these tools. And typically, like if this is a male head, obviously he's going to have thicker eyebrows. Just kind of block them in. Again, depending on who you're drawing, what you want to do, you make some of the features a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller. But another good thing to do is to check proportions and such. It's usually the nose is about that distance between the eyes as well, of like where it should be. Again, if these are the lips. Yeah, we don't know how blocky we want this guy's head or whatnot, but again, just mess around, feel it out, see what you want to do with your drawings. Erasing here a little bit. Typically, like the ear is kind of like almost like a horn. So we're playing with kind of this shape. Let's say this is like, you know, like it's that kind of a shape that we're messing with, and then we're just giving a little bit extra details and structure to it. Again, I'm just erasing some of the messy lines so you get a better idea of what it looks like. But like, look at your own ear, see how it is, and the kind of shapes that we're playing with. Again, if you want to make your lobes big, small, whatever, it all kind of depends. But typically, it is at that equal distance from the nose and the eyes. But since the head's kind of structured or has a slight tilt to it, obviously, like the ear is that's what's gonna make it look either higher or lower on the head as well, if that makes sense. But yeah, so typically this is kind of how it should go. I want this guy to have slightly more of a narrow face, so I'm just shaving this off a bit. But again, art's all about experimenting, figuring it out, messing around. Oh yeah, and the corners of the lips should kind of go midway to the eyes. At the corner of the mouth. It's another good kind of measurement to think about and start to study with and play around with. Typically, since the jaw or the chin kind of comes out like that, we usually have a dip that's right underneath the lip. So it's like just things to think about, since this is kind of the side, the temples. But yeah, I hope you guys are learning something with this. This is kind of like a quicker breakdown of it. But like I said, once I do more of these live master classes, I'll spend a little bit more time. If people have questions, you know, I should have somebody who's taking a look at the chat for me. And yeah, and we'll kind of go from there, just so you guys know. And we're messing around. Just kind of giving you guys a little bit of a breakdown of how this works, and hopefully give you guys a better idea of how to do the basic or beginning stages of working out your shapes on a human head and the proportions and such. So again, I typically like to keep these videos about 20 minutes, and we're almost at that mark. So I just wanted to usually then you could play with the brows, the anger, the expressions, whatever. But we could get into that again in a longer video or a live stream. So tomorrow I'm recording this on a Friday. Saturday is when I'm doing my master class lesson. I might use this drawing as well. I might just do something brand new. Haven't decided yet, but it should be good. Like again, I'm going to be hearing out everybody and kind of what you want me to draw or figure out what kind of works and what doesn't. But yeah, again, I start to get carried away with some of these pieces and what I'm doing. But oh yeah, if you want to mess around like with hairlines and stuff like that too, you just kind of you have to think about it, where the hairline would be. If he's gonna have short hair or long hair, that all depends as well. But typically, like the hairline would kind of be somewhere around this point, and then obviously, yeah, I mean, we're just kind of roughing in some shapes here. Maybe just a little bit of like a crew cut, you know. sideburns. But, you know, something along those lines. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I also have some of my own comic books that are out there. You guys know about Through the Woods, City of Venus. My newest one is Shadow of the Kraken, that I'm going to be putting the link in the description, so check that out. Support it. Yeah, I think we got about like 20 days left at, you know, the point where I'm recording this right now on the campaign. I just put up some new artwork, amazing shark attack. You can take a look at that. But yeah, make sure to subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be doing more of these art tutorials. I'm going to have more guests on. And yeah, we're gonna have more fun with all this stuff and with this channel and what I'm looking to do with all of this, and to teach you guys a little bit more. Again, I'm kind of limited on time throughout most of the week, but I'm doing my best to kind of showcase people, have more of these art lessons, things of that nature. So yeah, I hope you guys will continue to support me. We'll have some more fun too, like I said, during those live streams that I'm going to be planning. I'll have other people there to keep an eye on the chat, and you know, to keep it a little more entertaining, because I know sometimes doing these kind of drawings could come off a little bit boring, but I mean, they are educational, and especially if this is something you're interested in, you just kind of want to, you know, learn the basics. That's what we're going to be doing here. So once again, I hope you guys and girls enjoy what I'm doing, and you'll continue to support my my projects, and yeah. So guys, remember, be kind to one another, but kick ass while you create. Kind of give this guy my hairline a little bit, although mine's starting to recede. But yeah, that's not too bad for what I kind of wanted to show you guys. Let me just clean this up a little bit more. Again, it's easy to get a little bit carried away, or into starting to do like the detail parts of it, but I'm trying to do them again quicker, so that you guys can understand structure a little bit more, because structure is very, very important. And again, when I do more of these videos and break things down for you, we're talking about perspective. We're talking about the foundations to artwork, and what's gonna ensure that your drawings look very good and very natural. Because if you don't have the foundations, you're going to have a very lopsided drawing. You're going to have problems all over the place, and we don't want that in what we're doing. We want to showcase, you know, proper art, and yeah, you should know the basics. So that's what we're going to try to cover in this series of videos, and then, you know, maybe we'll get a little more complex, and play with that kind of stuff. I eventually want to get to some painting, or you know, like lighting structures and things of that nature. Typically doing it kind of in black and white is pretty good for people to kind of start to understand things. Yeah, I mean, well, you'll see once we get there, because we're talking about values, lighting, shading, ambient lights, things of that nature. And I've been on a couple of streams where we actually talked about stuff like that. Spartan Scotsman has a fantastic series. Go check them out. I believe it's Spartan Scotsman TV on YouTube. Because I was on there, we were given some great lessons, me and a bunch of other fantastic creators. So yeah, it's like I said, we got a good community here, and we're going to keep educating people as best as we can, and yeah, getting the word of art out there, because we don't want this to die. We don't want it to go away. We want to keep building and inspiring more people. That's kind of the goal with what I'm doing here. And as you can see, like, again, I keep erasing and messing around with stuff to see what kind of looks better or works better. But yeah, I hope you guys are definitely understand what I'm doing, and you're entertained by it, and you're going to continue to support me. So remember, Shadow of the Kraken available now. More videos, live streams, art tutorial live streams, they're coming soon. So yeah, thanks guys. Have a great night or a great day whenever you're watching this, and yeah, we'll talk soon. So once again, be kind to one another, Be kick-ass while you create. Bye.